our mind tends to go into the past or into the future a lot. In the process, it's not just memories or projections into the future, but also there is the creation of what we call the ego, the self, a certain idea of who we are, how good we are, or how otherwise we are. This self has its own structure, its own content. This self, made of memories and a number of projections into the future, creates a number of emotions in us. Especially, we may mention fear, hurt, anxiety, and so on. Every one of us desires to be at peace. We want to love and to be loved. However, what comes as an obstacle is our own self or ego, which is a creation of thought. In this sense, the ego is not something absolute, solid, or real by itself. It's made of thoughts. Thoughts are the warp and woof of the ego. In contrast, when we notice the mischief being played by our own mind, we become alert, and in this alertness, the mind behaves better. Then a certain quality comes to our living. Living in the present is what we sometimes describe this as. There is light in us, there is intelligence in us, there is the capacity in every one of us to rise above thought. Normally, people are caught in thought. They say thinking is a great gift that humanity enjoys. In one sense, it is true. But what we do not realize is this thinking itself has imprisoned every one of us. We think and achieve a lot in the world, in the field of science, technology, or why? All kinds of day-to-day transactions. Thinking helps us. IQ, EQ, all is good. But what about this aspect of thoughts? That thought builds the ego. Thought generates the self. We feel depressed because thought says we are not good. And some other time, maybe in surroundings or in an environment that is not at all conducive, we are very happy because thought is saying at that time, we are very good. Our self-worth, how good we feel, how low we feel, is not so much decided by the outer circumstances as by what thought interprets circumstances to be. Therefore, great masters, mystics, teachers, sages have advised us, have made an appeal to be aware of the movement of thought, the movement of the self in us, as the intelligence in us arises, awakes, then we use thought but are not caught by thought. Therefore, it is said rightly, the difference between the unwise and the wise is that in the case of the unwise, their mind uses them. In the case of the wise, they use their mind. In the light of the intelligence within us, the self subsides, our fears, anxieties subside, the ego subsides, we live in the present, we gain sharp objectivity, we rediscover in ourselves a broadness of mind, and in this rediscovery there is the coming upon of pure love, compassion, peace. We are happy people. Happiness in this way is discovered from a source within us. We are happy irrespective of outer circumstances. All this is thus a matter of the alertness, the awareness in us being above the field of thoughts. Therefore, the challenge before us is to face thoughts, to notice thoughts, and not be carried away by thoughts.